thing you want. Even in the founding of the United States, when we looked at that Constitution, there was strong disagreement amongst the founding fathers. Alexander Hamilton, for example, he really wanted the presidency to look a little bit more like a monarchy, or at least to expand the executive power. Jefferson, on the other hand, wanted to weaken it considerably and strengthen the legislature and raise the Democratic Congress. The document we got was a compromise between the two, and we're very lucky that people learn how to compromise. So as we go through this day, the next day, and the final day, you understand that as we move this process along, it's not the end, but rather the beginning of the end of the beginning. Okay? And what does that translate to? There's a lot more work to do. So I want to spend this keynote to talk a little bit about the future beyond this constitutional convention, and say there are many things to look forward to. You'll notice with things like the framing notes, which have been moved around and appendix is created, there's kind of this understanding of an interpretive guideline and the philosophy behind why this document exists and how people who utilize this document should analyze it. Every nation state does this. The Supreme Court does it. The lawyers do it and argue about it. In the United States, we have this concept of Federalist Papers. They're very foundational concerns. And while they're not in the Constitution, they certainly inspired it, and they're used as part of the analysis. We need to write the Federalist Papers of blockchain. We need to get the raison d'etre of why we do what we do and where these systems can go. Now, our industry has been very good at starting to aggregate these things. You'll see Balaji with his network state doctrine. There's a recent book from Primavera on blockchain governance. But I think we can synthesize what we've done here and also where we'd like to go and how we want to transform the world into a collection of following documents. What you are doing here are training wheels to understand how to do that. So in the coming months and years beyond the Constitutional Convention, it is very important that we continue that progress. And if any of you do want to work on that, there will be money in the budget for this. If it's not approved by Cardano, I'll just pay it out of my pocket because I don't want to lose this. This is momentum, and it's truly special when these things do this. Now, the other thing I was very adamant about the flags being here is because I truly did want to represent that each and every one of you is actually a representative of your nation. You are here because people from where you come from chose you to be here. And it's very important that this document be translated not just into English, but many different languages. It's very important that you as an ambassador to your nation actually explain to the people there what has been produced. So on the back of this process, as we leave the Constitutional Convention, my hope is that you can act as an ambassador to what has been done in Spanish, and in Chinese, and in German, and in French, and so many other languages, and make sure that people understand and value what has been done. That is in itself a lot of work. And so discussions have to be held amongst the delegates and with people in the budget committee to make sure that not only is there a will to do this, but there are resources to do this, and they're carried back home. Because that will ensure that not just this room cares, but many more rooms care as we continue to grow and thrive. There are deficiencies in all blockchain-based voting systems, and those deficiencies typically stem around inclusion. So right now we've done our best job to try to create definitions for community and who gets a voice and how much voice do they get. And there are trade-offs in all of these things. That's the nature of democracy. There's always trade-offs that people make. So a big part of future work streams is the discussion of increasing the level of inclusion, the quality of inclusion, improving the voting dynamics, the social benefits. Some of this is academic research, and some of this is experimentation. One of the biggest things we can do, the quickest things we can do, gain momentum in this respect, is to integrate ourselves into a broader governance conversation. It's meta-gov, which is a consortium of community ecosystem. They're trying to create standards for DAOs. Those have assets, those have voters. A lot of them are low participation, but some are actually pretty interesting. All of you are now qualified to be not only members of that conversation, but leaders of that conversation as a consequence of your service here. And